Well, that sucks. In the previous video that I made, I installed slime into my inner tubes in hopes that the air pressure wouldn't lower as rapidly as it does. After about a week, I go from like 40 to 30. The tires just lose some air pressure. So I figured it wouldn't hurt anything, but this time it did not work. The time that it did work was when I did a tire change on the KLR 650 in the we did a little soapy water test, and some of the air was escaping around the valve stem of the rim. So as a precaution, after we readjusted the inner tube, we put some slime in, and on the ride home from Cleveland to Massachusetts, the tire didn't lose but maybe 5 pounds of air pressure, and I figured I would address the issue when I got home, but the leak sort of just went away. So I left well enough alone, so to speak, and was satisfied with the performance of the slime in that situation. So it seemed like a good opportunity to do it again on this Vulcan 900, which also has inner tubes, but that did not work. So one thing I figured I'd address in this video is this topic that I hadn't really thought much of, but is actually pretty important, and that is downshifting your motorcycle. And apparently there are people who are for it and people who are against it. And the people who are for it, for downshifting, say it saves you on your brakes and it helps you to control your slowdowns to intersections. And the people who are against it say it's unnecessary wear on your clutch, it's unnecessary wear on your transmission, and brake pads are cheap enough, so why are you stressing your engine and transmission when you could just change your pads maybe a little quicker, a little sooner? But really, since it's not difficult to change pads, why would you put that kind of stress on your transmission and your clutch plates? That makes sense. I agree with that, actually, more than I would have even thought of. I'd never thought of it as even a topic. But then I was thinking and overthinking it, and I remembered, I'll give you a backstory here. So, when I first got my license in '93, I was in the service, and in order to ride a motorcycle in the service, you had to take the base safety course. And the base safety course that they offered at our base in Mississippi was the advanced rider course. And obviously I was not an advanced rider, seeing as how I had just gotten my temporary license 2 weeks prior. And you took the test with your own motorcycle. They didn't have like the provided bikes that I'm seeing that, you know, some places have, like the Rebel 250s or Nighthawk 250s. That just happened to, by chance, my first motorcycle was an '86 Rebel 450. And so anyways, I took the test, but during the test, I believe they addressed that issue or the topic, and I think the reason that you're supposed to downshift your motorcycle instead of just coasting up to the intersection is you're always supposed to have your bike in the proper gear for the speed you're going, so that if you run into a situation or a scenario, whether it be avoiding something in a road or a car coming up behind you, that you're in the proper gear to get out of a situation. So it's sort of like insurance that you're in control of your bike for maximum amount of time instead of just rolling up. So not that you lose a whole lot of time, but it does take a second or two for your brain to register shifting. So if you had to like gas the throttle, it would take you a second to get into the gear, and maybe that second would make the difference. I don't know. I have obviously developed a habit of downshifting, and so I'm not going to change that. But I did find it quite interesting that people are saying, like, well, you know, why are you stressing your clutch when you could just change pads so easily? And that does make sense. So I don't really have, like I said, I don't have strong opinions on it, and it's cool, you know, if you don't like to downshift and you just like to brake, I guess there's no harm in that. But I think that technically, for 100% safety purposes, you might want to be in the proper gear for the speed of your bike at all times. So if you are somebody who has been investigating proper gears or downshifting, and that's my unprofessional take on the topic.
Sometimes I try to do things and it just doesn't work out the way I want it to, and I get real frustrated. And like, I try hard.